Hey there, Final Fantasy TCG community. Jared Scott here. I hope that you're all doing well. I hope that you're enjoying kind of these early days of Opus 25. For those of you that are in Canada, my heart goes out to you. I know that you're still dealing with distribution issues and delays and all that. And I know it's been an ongoing thing and it sucks. So I don't want to leave you guys out here. I know that you're still waiting on it. But for those that do have Opus 25, I hope you're all enjoying it so far and excited for the upcoming competitive season here. I know that I haven't made that many videos here, and so this is gonna be something a little bit different. I'm not doing a spoiler right now, obviously, but I did want to just talk a bit about kind of what my plans are this year, since we're at the beginning of the competitive season and kind of the just beginnings of things. I want to talk about what my plans are for content and things going forward here, and just kind of share that with you. And I think to get the best understanding of where things are going from here, it would be good to kind of explain how I got to where I am right now in the game. And so if you'll indulge me a little bit, I'm just going to go a little bit over kind of my personal history with the game to explain like what I've done, where I'm at now, and what I'm planning on doing moving forward here with it. So yeah, I hope that's something that's interesting to you guys as well. But anyway, to start with, I started playing the game back in Opus 2 in like the spring of 2017, right when official play was starting. Everybody was trying to get those Lightning and Sephiroth and Vincent promos and all that. Just the old FFTCG boomer times. So I started playing back then. Absolutely fell in love with the game. I've been a Final Fantasy fan for decades and been playing TCGs just as long. Really enjoyed those first few sets once we got our supply issues settled back then. Played at the first Nationals, did a lot better than I ever would have expected. And kind of what I would consider the first phase of my experience in FFTCG came after Nationals, when there was a bunch of us in the San Francisco Bay Area who were looking to make content at the time. There really wasn't much in the way of content creators for the game back then, and so it was exciting to kind of be at the frontier of that, as it were. And so this group of about like a half a dozen or so of us, I want to say, that were they got together and were coming up with ideas and trying to figure out what we wanted to do both locally and with content. And so we ended up kind of figuring out what we're going to call ourselves. What's the name going to be? And so I suggested that we call ourselves the Break Zone. And sure enough, that's what we went with. And so we ended up being the Break Zone. And when the Break Zone started, we were doing a local tournament circuit, which we got up and running thanks to the help of Matthew Okamoto and Kyle McGinty and Meta Potion. So we were doing kind of their system they put together of weekly tournaments that rotated between stores in the local area and had a championship at the end of it. It was really fun. It was really cool. And through that process, I got a lot of experience with tournament organizing, judging, and then we also really wanted to stream matches because, again, there was a lack of kind of streamed game content at the time. So I also learned and was taught how to do streaming and got experience with commentating and all of that. And so we did that through the course of the rest of the year as we kind of got started as the Break Zone. And that got leveraged into getting Square's attention, which was really cool. And so the following year, in 2018, we were able to work directly with Square Enix and be involved with streaming all the Crystal Cups that year and doing the commentating for it. I personally was able to be involved with and to do commentating at 4 of the Crystal Cups that year, which was an incredible experience, getting to work with Square and traveling all over the place and getting to meet people that year. It was just a fantastic experience all the way around. Also during that period of time, I wrote a couple of articles that went onto the Break Zone website that were kind of about rules-based stuff, because definitely back then there's a lot more rockiness about how the rules function and everything, and so I was trying to do my part there with something that kind of felt like it came naturally to me. And then towards the end of like around Nationals the next year is when I started doing the spoiler spreadsheets that everybody mostly knows me for at this point. So I started doing that at that point. And following nationals that year, by that point, the break zone had kind of been whittled down to about 3 people, including myself. So at that point, the other 2 decided that they didn't need me anymore, and they decided they didn't really need to be involved with the local community anymore. And so they kind of sectioned me and all the tournament stuff off from themselves. And so at that point, it was kind of the end of my first phase, as it were, because I needed to kind of retool things on the fly and rebrand and all of that while keeping our tournament seasons going, because we had multiple by that point in time. I think we had 3 by that point in time. So I got together a new group of people, some of the same people that had been originally involved with the break zone and some new ones. And we rebranded ourselves at that point as the Zodiac Braves, which is what I've been since then, and been involved with since then. So it was a group of us at the time, which is why the Zodiac Braves, plural. But at that point, we just continued to run the local tournament circuit. Really continued to do the spoiler spreadsheets for all you guys there, and just kind of refined it. And by the next year, by the next time we had nationals, I had done enough judging and rule stuff. I was really interested in trying to take the what was offered at the time as far as a judge test, the kind of limited beta program for judging stuff that happened at the time. So so at the end of 2019, I did take the level 1 judge test and became officially a level 1 judge with Square Enix, which was very exciting for me personally. At that point, the circuit locally in the Bay Area also kind of came to an end. But then we all got hit with COVID. And I don't need to really explain what happened with COVID. We all know how that affected the game and all of us. But through that, of course, I was still doing the spoiler spreadsheet. I was still keeping up with things. Didn't really get to play much. I ended up moving to the Seattle area in 2021 and kind of came up there. Got adopted by the community up here, who are all absolutely fantastic people. And after kind of things started to trickle back in, we started getting the re-raise events and all of that. I started to get more involved with judging than I had been on a more official level. So I think it was a couple of years ago at this point. It was the first time that I judged at a local qualifier. So it was my first time doing an official Square event, other than when I was kind of in training, as it were. When I took the level 1 test, I did do floor judging at the Dark Crystal Cup that year, or the Last Chance Qualifier, whatever they called it that year. So yeah, in the last couple of years, I've definitely shifted to doing a lot of judging, especially last year. At this point, I've judged at 2 different local qualifiers. I judged at the Portland Materia Cup last year. I judged at Nationals last year, including doing both floor judging and stream judge. I judged at the Winter Cup in California that just happened. And so I've definitely leaned into that side of what I've been doing since then. And like I mentioned, for a long time now, the kind of Zodiac Braves brand and identity kind of got whittled down. Once the circuit ended, even before that point, it pretty much came down to just me. So I had great help for a while there, but people for various reasons either quit the game, left, what have you. And so I've kept the branding. I've kept the name Zodiac Braves. I have a connection to it. I came up with that name as well. I love it very much, but it's felt for a while like it's not really represented kind of what I do or who I am anymore. I'm not part of a group doing stuff. I'm not running tournaments, and I've really kind of stepped into judging as the main thing here. And so that kind of leads me to the answer of what am I doing moving forward? What are my plans for this year? What do I want to do with content creation and all of that? And so my idea is basically that I'm gonna rebrand here again. It's time for the 3rd phase in my FFTCG community, career, FFTCG career, and to kind of take on new challenges in addition to just doing the judging that I've been doing. And so to really kind of embrace that identity and that kind of mission statement, I'm going to be changing things up here to being Judge Jared. So, um, yeah, it's something that I've thought about, even just going back to the break zone days. I mentioned I did rules stuff back then, and I became known for my rules knowledge back when I was doing tournaments and everything. And so I've had this kind of percolating for years at this point, kind of this Judge Jared identity of things. It's fun, gets into what, I enjoy doing. I love playing, obviously, um, but I'm definitely into judging and doing my part there with that. And so kind of my goal for this season and this year is to make more rules content, more kind of judge and rules related stuff out there, and do something beyond just the spoiler spreadsheet. Don't worry, I'm still going to be doing the spoiler spreadsheet. I'm not going anywhere with that. That's going to keep on keeping on, as it were. I'm still planning on judging at events. I'm probably going to end up doing at least one LQ this year. I'm expecting I'll probably end up judging at Portland again. I'm about to judge in a few weeks at the San Francisco Materia Cup this year, so that's also exciting. And yeah, so what you can look out for from me is making some content about explaining certain things with the rules. Part of my inspiration, or kind of the impetus for doing this, is that we didn't really have much of a judge program before COVID, but then after COVID, we definitely have not had a judge program. And even before we lost what was there, one of the things that always bugged me is that there's never really been any sort of guidance or anything from Square or anybody as far as teaching how to become a judge. There was a test, so that it was like, oh, well, if you know the rules enough, you can take the test and see if you're, qualified there. But there was never anything about like, here, we're going to explain to you how things work, beyond just going, well, read the rules, read the advanced rules. If you don't understand something, go on Twitter, ask us on Twitter. But there really hasn't been much about both the kind of the rules side of it and the actual judging at events side of it. And so I will admit I'm far from the best expert at explaining a lot of these things. There's still a lot of things I'm learning myself through the process. But I figure that with the experience that I have over the last 8 years now, it's been 8 years. The experience that I have, that there is knowledge and experience that I have that I can pull upon to share, to hopefully help other people out who want to learn more about the rules. Because I feel like even if you don't want to be a judge, even if you have no interest in that at all, kind of my philosophy is that everybody benefits from having a better understanding of the rules. As a player, the more you understand the rules, the stronger of a player it's going to make you, right? You don't ever have to do judging in your life, but if you understand the rules on a deeper level, you're going to be able to take advantage of those little nuances and those little spots that people are not as aware of, or to know exactly what you can do in various situations. And so I think that rules knowledge is incredibly helpful for everybody. You don't have to just be somebody who wants to do judging for it to be of value. And I feel like that's something that's been missing for a long time. So I want to be able to provide what I can with this. And so hopefully that's something that's going to be useful for people, and hopefully something that you all enjoy there. I'm going to do my best to be as accurate as I can. With the rules, there's always lots of nuances and things that you can slip up, say the wrong thing, and it screws it all up. I'm sure I'll mess something up at some point, but I will do my best to correct when needed, and to just be as on top of it as possible, to not slip up and say something wrong. But anyway, yeah, so that's my plan here. Is you'll see that over the next few days, week, whatever, I'll be kind of changing the name and branding for Zodiac Braves stuff over to Judge Jared. And if there's anything that you want to have me cover, any questions or any particular topics or anything, you're like, you know what, I'd love to see an explainer about this aspect of the rules or this aspect of judging or something like that, please reach out to me and let me know. So it kind of gives me an idea of what people are looking for. Otherwise, I have a bunch of ideas myself already. You'll see that I have something else already kind of put together to come out soon here to get things kicked off, that I think is a really important topic going into the competitive season. But yeah, I'm excited to kind of work out some new content and hopefully help people out. Because the other thing that I've been doing this year is trying to, for the events that I am judging at, trying to help people that do want to be judges to get them some experience, getting people who want to do judging but are inexperienced about it but have a good enough rules knowledge background, giving them a chance to get their first experience doing it in person and kind of mentor them as best that I can, because we could always use more people in the community who can be judges. It can be really hard sometimes to find enough judges for events and things. So yeah, I hope you'll join me on this journey and watch the content that I'm planning on putting out. And yeah, I'll see you guys again soon. Here's to the start of an exciting new season. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say. So thank you very much. And I'll have more content coming soon. Take it easy.